Welcome back to part 3 now, and we're going to play with the oscilloscope. I want to just go through what things should look like. So yesterday we learned about frequency and pitch. So let's look at that for a second. So a high frequency, high energy, high pitch transverse wave would look like this. Oops. So there should be a lot of crests and a lot of troughs. And therefore that sound wave sounded high pitched, it sounded squealy, but we would describe it as having high energy. If you were to talk about the wavelength, though, if you notice a lot of crests and the short distance between them, then it has a short wavelength, a shorter wavelength, but higher energy. So that's a high pitched, high frequency wave. But then if we're talking about low pitch, it looks more like, oh. Okay, so that one has much fewer crests and troughs than the previous wave. It sounded deep, it sounded low, and it has low energy. But today we have to learn 2 new words, and I want you to play around with this on your own. So you need to learn volume and amplitude. So let's try a low volume, low pitch noise. Oh, okay. So this one is low volume. Volume is loudness or quietness. This one is low frequency and low pitch. But now let me try low frequency, low pitch, high volume. I want you to notice that there is still not a very high frequency going on. There is a low pitch, low frequency wave, but I want you to notice that the wave height got taller from the center. So higher volume results in a taller wave. We describe the tallness of the wave as its amplitude. So let me try a high pitched low volume wave. So that has quite a few crests and troughs, but it's not a very tall wave if I were to describe it. So therefore I would say that it is a high pitched, high frequency, but low volume and low amplitude wave. Now let me try a high pitched, high frequency, high volume, high amplitude wave. So that one has a lot of crests, and therefore I could describe it as high frequency. It was high pitched because it was high frequency. But when I check out how tall my wave is from the center line, then I would describe it as high volume, and therefore I would describe its amplitude as high as well because it's taller. So volume is the loudness or quietness of a sound, loudness or quietness of a sound, but amplitude is its wave height, which is only determined by volume. So volume and amplitude work together, but pitch and frequency work together. So take a few minutes yourself to try and play with these 2 ideas.